How is everyone? Hello, Echoing. Hello, Yuna. Hello, Darkleaf. Hello, Luke. Hello, Boomtown. Hey, Agnolia. Hey, Trash. Hey, Flame. Hey, Maple. Hey, Sky. How am I doing? I'm a little... I don't know. Yesterday I was very much not able to concentrate on anything for long periods of time yesterday. So I'm hoping this stream doesn't become like a complete derailment. We will see. We will see. I did the herb garden this morning. I'm not too happy with everything on it quite yet, but I think it works for now. For what it needs to. I think I might reline it a little bit simpler later. But yeah, we'll start getting the colors situated. I mean, so basically what I did was I picked the 3 herbs that I think would probably be the ones that the medicine cats would use the most. So poppy seeds, thyme, they use a lot of thyme, and dock leaves. And so I picked those 3 and I populated it. I'm not 100% sold on the dock leaves because they're very wibbly. They're very wobbly leaves. I started on this edge and I went to this edge, and you can kind of see because I kind of like how I did these ones specifically, but these ones over here are so I don't know. I might re-render it, but it'll work for now. We're gonna be working on rendering down here today, so it won't matter. So we're gonna start cleaning up the... I'm trying to think if I want to... Honestly, I might actually work backwards on this one and kind of clean up this top area. What do I want to do? I'm just gonna do what I feel like, and I feel like just cleaning up like these things at first. So where is my brushes? There they are. Here we go. So what I want to do is bring a little bit more dark values and like some dark greens into the plants up here before I start really like getting the details down. And maybe sneak a little bit of nice teal color in those. To help offset the green, yellowish green of the grass. Even just a tad more, even I think you could get away with a bit on there. Hey, Gruffy. Finish reading The Prophecies Begins. They all suck. That's your short term of it. I don't like any of the designs. We're not going to talk about the graphic novel. I don't feel like being a salty individual today. See, I like this green too. I might pull some of that in a little bit. You have to be careful though, because green is one of those colors that you can clash very easily if you're not careful. See, I don't like that really bright green for the ferns. I'd like to keep the ferns more kind of toned down. I have set up a couple other things that we might pivot to take a break from working on rendering out this piece. I was able to find a WordCat animated layout that I can work on stream. It should be a nice quick break from whatever we end up breaking from. I can also work... What else can I work on? I might work on some little pistol stuff. I need to get that stuff squared away so I can assign things out and that can get moving again. I think I want these to be more blue down here. This one I want to be like fairly blue. I can kind of mess with the values a little bit more for this in these these closer ferns than others. And I think the light source in this picture, where's it coming? Kind of just from the top, kind of noonish. I want to pull some of this green into these other ones though, so they all look like they're the same sort of fern. And then this over here can kind of be shaded a bit more. I want to pull some darker colors into the bottom. Get a drop shadow on there. Get a cover reveal. Yeah, they'll probably spoil the whole of Changing Skies 3 too. Unfortunately. I hope they don't. I would really hope that they kind of don't just copy paste the exact blurb that spoils what happens in book 3, but their track record has not shown me that they have understood. That people do not want this. I want the grass to mainly be like yellowish green hues. I mean, all the shadows in this whole picture have more of that bluish hue. So I think that the darker shadowy bits can be more blue, but I want the light to be very like nice and bright and summery yellow. People are saying the title might be Burning Night. Is it, have they like come out? I'm not on TikTok, I'm not on Twitter. The way that I find Warriors news is every single day I go on the Warriors Wiki Twitter from the Warriors Wiki website, and if the Warriors Wiki Twitter doesn't have it, then I don't see it. Or one of my friends will send it to me. More often than not, usually my friends just send it to me. I'll just wake up and somebody will have sent it. Be like, check out this, and then I'll be like, awesome. They have like a game where they release a few letters and people guess. Yeah. Did they do that? None. I'll go on the Warriors. I have not been on the Warriors Wiki Twitter today. Go to the event timeline, go to the Twitter tab, click it. So I don't have to see anything on Twitter because Twitter sucks. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. They did the... Okay. I like limit my... I limit my exposure to social media. Yeah, okay. I could see Burning Night for sure. That definitely looks like it's probably night. Something night. They really do like using the word night, though. So, I don't know. Burning light? Yeah. What if it's... Is there enough letters here to have two words? Two thingies? I guess so. I don't know. It seems like there's not enough... Doesn't really look like there's enough... And it looks like there's enough for like another eye and something. If only ruining was a word. Guiding? Yeah, it looks like there's only like... I mean, that works a lot better. Bunny night. Guiding light. Well, no. Is that how you spell guiding? Isn't there an E? No. The E gets dropped. I don't know. And I guess there is enough space to put an R there, too. Guiding lights? Maybe. I don't know. Guiding light. This is true. Guiding does have like this sort of new territory-esque vibe. Like we're getting guided somewhere, which would I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Tawny Pelt's probably going to be on the cover, right? Because Tawny Pelt hasn't been on a cover yet, and she's a point of view. I swear to God, if Bramble Claw becomes another cover, get this man something to do. Get him a hobby. He's mogging the frame. Yeah, Brambleclaw's still alive. Well, Owen has drawn Tawny Pelt for Tawny Pelt's clan, so we know what his Tawny Pelt would technically look like. Yeah, I think at like the 1 hour mark, I might. What character has the most different appearance in official art? Like artist to artist, you mean? Or just like from what the fandom would think that they look like? Artist to artist? Probably Blue Star. Because I feel like Blue Star looks very different the way Wayne drew her and the way that Owen draws her. You were also gonna say Blue Star? Yeah, I mean, we all know. It's probably Blue Star. Something like that, maybe. Trying to think of what I want to do. See, I'd like to desaturate a lot of these plants. Not just because... I don't know. Here, get rid of all the get rid of all the cats right now. Mostly because... they really shouldn't be gathering... They're going to be gathering attention because their values are different already, but with all the cats in there, I kind of just prefer them to not be pushed out further than they have to be. Like value-wise. Like, do you see how these are already a lot darker than everything around them? So they're automatically kind of drawing your eye to them. Now, the camp is empty right now, which is something you have to think about. I do post these empty, but when I print them out... which I can fix by kind of making the ground around them also, or even just pushing the shadows on the ground as well. Will just help them kind of meld in a little bit, I think. I could definitely push some of this. I think this corner could be put into shadow more than this one to kind of give it a feeling that it is behind. And then I think the ivy I will also darken up a little bit, but I don't want it to be too dark. But also like desaturating it'll help. Like I'm thinking more like that color up there. But I don't want to do that too quick because there's also like, this is the quote-unquote mid-ground, right? So all these cats are still like very noticeable, like who they are and stuff. Like I shouldn't start really worrying about value getting too dark and stuff like that until I'm into this section back here. But like you see up here in, I don't know. I didn't go to art school, so I just like, I go entirely based on vibe. It's all vibes for me. Are your commissions open? I'm not taking off-stream commissions right now, but I will open some commissions sometime this stream for next weekend. I've been really struggling with my workload, I guess. I didn't draw at all yesterday because my wrist was, I just couldn't draw. I just did a bunch of like clerical duties, you know, spreadsheets and stuff like that for taxes and everything. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I need to do some exercise. I need to figure something out. Something that's a little more healthy, I think. See, I don't really want this to be different values like this. I kind of just want it to be a single, mostly single. Like, it can change a little bit, but I don't, I mostly just for texture purposes. Because there's literally nothing happening up here. It really shouldn't be that detailed. Everything's happening in the square over here, so I want there to be like, well, now that I look at it, it looks like I wanted to draw some vines and stuff going up the side here, which I never lined, so I might want to do that. I don't know. Like, I like that pop of green up there. For sure. I just like the pops of green. The overgrown, sort of, you can tell that it was a quarry, bare bones look, but it's been overtaken by nature, is the balance I'm trying to strike. And I think limiting the amount of like drastic color changes that happen within these sections of the quarry is going to help it look more angular as well. But this looks almost too fake. Like, I don't know. And the other thing is that I'd like to keep the brightest values on the quarry walls, like on the floor type area. Because that'll help kind of guide your eye up there, I think. Like this might be too dark now that I'm looking at it. We're kind of like this color. Who's on this one? Yeah, Ice Cloud is there. Okay. Definitely needs to be darker then. I don't want it to be too bright, or she will completely blend in. But like you see like the green colors on this vine right here. I think that's just too vivid. Personally, I'd like to tone it down a little bit. I think the vividness works on the grass, but I don't think it works as well on like lichen and stuff. I'd like to tone down the saturation. If this is like Spanish moss or something, it's actually like a very pale green. I guess I didn't really think about what it could be, but Spanish moss is pretty pale. If I'm remembering correctly. And I'd like this to be dark back here because there's another sort of section in front of it that needs to be noticeably in front of it. I might actually just lower the value on all of this back moss. Because look at it. Actually, just look at it. Like, there's an outcrop right here. So this whole entire section of moss is actually going to be in shadow. So I think that it's probably going to look better if I just kind of put it all in shadow and then bring the shadow up from where the den is. If it is coming from the top. But like, this whole area right here needs to be darker. And there's a little lip there, and then this goes into the back, which I think we can really lower the value on. Go down, down, down. Because this is the back of the den. And I think we can probably put these little things to kind of give it a sense of it really is going back there. Like there's more to explore. And then we'll bring the Spanish moss up to the herb garden. Hey Dia, happy birthday Dia. Everybody say happy Dia to my happy birthday to my ma Dia. It turned 20 something today. happy Dia to birthday. A Warriors-themed birthday party? Wow. How fancy. I think that really helps, kind of. I could probably lower the value of all of this again. Hold on. Where is Sorrel in this? She is outside of the shadows. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna do is take this blue color. I'm going to kind of color the whole thing where I want that drop shadow to go. I think I could really play around with the drop shadows in this. Make it really cool. I would kind of, I just am lowering the opacity on it. And then do I want, now this is the other thing I have to think about. Typically, in my experience, you either want to make the light in the picture very saturated or you want to make the shadows very saturated. If you do both, it can look very flat. So I think for this picture, I actually, when I was painting it, and you can kind of tell, when I started painting it and like did the original splash of color, I wanted the light to have more of the saturation in it than the shadow. But now that I'm like starting to render out these plants and stuff, I've kind of lost the sauce. So I might wanna do this a little bit. Kind of pick out some sections here. And then sort of see how it feels. Now, the only thing about yellow or green, when you up the saturation, it can look really ugly really quick. So, I don't know. Also, to the US today. Nice, nice. I don't know. Oh gosh. I'm thinking about it too much. I'm thinking about it too much. It's too much. I don't think it matters with the particular burns, because I think like just having the lighting, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And by us, I mean you guys are my emotional support chat to prevent me from going insane. You forgot it was Tuesday? Welcome in, Lemon. It is Tuesday indeed. Tuesday again? No problem. Add a little splash of blue in there. See, I'm losing the plot here. It's not vivid enough for me. Just touch it up a little bit. If you want more vivid, just go more blue. Maybe on the rim. I like this color, actually. Do you see that plant in the middle? I think this is more what I want to capture. Just overall, generally. I think that's why I'm getting lost in the sauce. I think they're just getting too yellowy green. When in doubt, just go more blue. You want it to be Friday? I don't know what day. I never really want it to be a particular day. I take them all in strides. Yeah. I do like the more toned down for the Spanishy moss type stuff, though. Welcome in, Holiday. Okay. Now, where are the foreground cats? This is the other thing, right? So I do post these without any cats in them. But in the final picture that I print out, there are cats in them. So some of this is probably just going to be drop shadow from the cats, which is on a different layer, so I can just remove it. Thanks, Raspberry. I do think I want this. Do I want the moss to be more? The sea color. I should fill up this pic with the Hidden Moon allegiance. I don't think that the nursery is in this picture, is it? So... Did the Hidden Moon teaser drop? Or did we just get, like, a hint of what the next book is gonna be? Yellow. Oh, Hidden Moon is already out. Okay, sorry. For some reason, I keep thinking Hidden Moon is the one coming out and Chasing Shadow is the one that was just released. For sure. In my brain. Not sure why. I think it's because the names, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just silly like that, I guess. I think this is like the top of a rock. But it's kind of in the shadow, isn't it? This is a hard... This is a hard picture for me to, like, figure out exactly where I want all of the, where I want the light source to come through. Because I clearly want the light source to be really hitting this right here. But at the same time, maybe it's just, like, it's coming from, like, right here. Because I think I wanted this whole back to be mostly in shadow. When I was, like, painting it. And for most, where's my point sample? I want to be on 5x5. I like doing that, like, ridge, what's it called? I don't know. But it's like when the shadow's edge is like a slightly different color. I like doing it. It adds something. Je ne sais quoi. Penumbra. Yeah, whatever that means. Now, see, I believe that the way that I have this right here, this right here should be in shadow. And this up here should not be, which I think actually kind of makes it pop a little bit more, which I approve of. You guys don't come here for artistic vocabulary. You come here for my minimal commentary of a Midwest person. Trying to figure things out. And then we'll just lighten up the front of these. We come here for cat rants. I don't do this very often, I don't think. Okay. What do I want to do with this? I like this pop of green up here, which means I probably want to re-add some. You know what? You know what's crazy, you guys? I've been really craving drawing a snowy picture lately. Which isn't new. I like drawing snowy pictures. But that would mean if I wanted to draw a camp, I'd have to draw the ThunderClan Lake camp, and I want to die. So that's not going to happen because I don't want to die. And I feel like that's a death wish. Okay. We're not drawing the ThunderClan Lake camp picture next. Literally, the crowd goes mild. No one is going to care when I post the ThunderClan Lake camp picture. People are going to be like, that's great. Next. I honestly feel like that's how people are probably going to act for every single... Well, let's be real. That's how everybody acts for every single picture other than the ThunderClan one. That's great. Draw the ThunderClan one. That's great. So, I don't draw these for you guys. I draw them for me. I'll cheer and go, whoopee! What's Breeze Pelt say? Hooray! You already drew my dream camp? Wait, which one was your dream camp? I'm curious, to those of you that have seen all of the camp pictures that I've done, which one is your personal favorite? I promise I will not get offended. The ShadowClan Lake one? Yeah, that one did. I like that one. That one was a very self-indulgent one. For all of them. I like the SkyClan one. Fair enough, fair enough. I think the SkyClan one looks the prettiest, really big. I have it really big on my wall right now, 2 foot by 3 foot, and it looks, it's pretty big and really big. I think that the RiverClan one looks really good big too. but for a different reason. I think that the greens really pop on like a glossy print of it. You like the Wind Clan one? The Wind Clan one was the one that I redrew a lot of over and over and over to try to like get it to look alright. Those heather plants in the foreground were redrawn like 3 or 4 times, and then I remember redrawing like White Paw and Web Paw a lot. You didn't draw Ebony Claw on stream? I don't even remember how much I did of that picture on stream, because I remember I was also drawing it on... Ah, man. So I've done, except for this herb garden, like, initial sketch, or initial, like, final lines, I've done this whole picture on stream. I haven't done a single thing off stream on it, except for that line art. The River Clan one? The River Clan one was the first one I did. It's pretty interesting that that's some people's favorites. Because I feel like it's pretty rough around the edges in a lot of areas. So I'm glad that people still like it. I think it has some of the least amount of... like... I don't know. It's pretty bland if you think about it. Like, there's no pathing... there's not that much thought about like how the layers work in it. Like, is it multi-planed? It's a very like flat. It has like a slight slope in it because I added the slope from like this Great Storm where like the Elder's Den was supposed to be like some of the highest forms of camp or whatever. But I do really like the colors. The willow trees on that picture, too, they took me out. For sure, 100%. Yeah, the green. I do like the green on the River Clan one. It looks really good glossy. I think they all look really good in 2x3, though. I'm a little biased. I need to buy the Fortress one 2x3 so that I can actually put it properly on my wall. But it's my wallpaper on my desktop, so I don't know. I feel like I might make this my wallpaper. And then do the Fortress one as like my proper print in my room. The Fortress one. I think the Fortress one might be my favorite camp I've done. I'm completely biased, but I think I'm 100% satisfied with how it came out, and I think that it printed out very, very nicely. So I think that the Fortress one is my favorite that I've done so far. Did I do that this year? I think I did it this year, right? I think I did. This one's coming out pretty nice, though. I was a little bit worried that this one would be very intimidating for me to, like, try to get perfect, because I know that this is... The ThunderClan camps, they're not only... do they have, like, all of the major characters that people like, but I have a very clear view. I feel like they're the camps that people have the most clear view of, like, what they look like, and I want to... I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I never thought that the camp walls of the ThunderClan camp were, like, a very, like, light, kind of whitish sandstone color until until I decided, like, hey, to make this one look different, I'm gonna try to make the walls lighter than like the SkyClan Gorge or the ThunderClan Ravine. But now that I've like painted it, I'm like, yeah, I really like it with the white. It kind of lends to like the savior complex that ThunderClan has. It reminds me of Greek marble. So, I don't know. I like doing the camp concepts because, let's be real, the camps are not very well described and not very consistently described in the books. So, I personally love, like, kind of figuring them out in these little tiny details and, like, really bringing the camp alive in, like, in a very concrete way that I can, like, refer to in my mind. I think I want this grass back here to be more kind of like this color. Hey, Fusion. Vibes of this are... Oh, thank you. A lot of my camp pictures are actually kind of like the morning that something bad happens. There's actually a lot of these pictures that, technically speaking, they have to take place right before catastrophe strikes. This one takes place right before the Great Battle. The RiverClan one takes place literally the morning that Oakheart dies. Like, Oakheart's probably gathering the patrol to go to Sunning Rocks and fight Redtail and Tiger Claw's patrol in that picture. But it was mainly because I could not figure out... Yeah. It's just like I literally couldn't figure out when Oakheart dies. In Leopard Star's honor, there's like this cut. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I was like, I feel like this probably takes place the literal morning he dies. I think I want that back tree to have a little bit more of a darker trunk. I think this is supposed to be, what is it? It's like a beech tree or something. But I don't want it to have like white in it. Like, I want it to feel... I don't know. I don't know what type of leaves or what type of bush this is either. It's just going to be a green bush. Taking a break. I feel like the bush here can be a little bit more darker. Maybe lighten it up just a tad. I can do like some fog as well if I feel like it's getting too dark. Like, I'll probably put some fog on this atop this background layer just to push it back into the depth a little bit more. But the initial shading of the bush needs to be like, this is the bottom of the bush and then the top of the bush. Like, think of it like a sphere. Otherwise, I'll start to get lost in the sauce. So I need to make sure that there's like a clear top of bush, bottom of bush. Color shift. When does the Forest ThunderClan take place? It takes place right before Tiger Claw's betrayal. So it takes place at the beginning-ish of Forest of Secrets. Greystripe is off to meet Silverstream. Brackenpaw and Fireheart are trying to, like, basically convince him to not go. Broken Tail is supposed to be in camp, but I forgot about that. The Shadow Clan one takes place during Tiger Star and Sasha, because Sasha's in there, so it's like the specific couple of days that Sasha is in camp. Which is why I couldn't have Tawny Paw in there. It's okay. Tawny Pell is in, like... She'll be in at least 2. Because she's in the Shadow Clan Lake Camp and she's in the ThunderClan Forest Camp. The WindClan one is a little bit more obscure. It's got to take place. It takes place after WindClan has returned to the moor, and Gorsepaw's not an apprentice yet. He's like an older kit. I feel like I just want to put this whole entire thing in kind of like a similar shadow, honestly. Maybe just have it gradually like gradient up. I think it's gonna be the best. Thing for it. A lot of my cat designs are very warm. Like if you think about it, I do a lot of warm colors in my cat designs, so I think keeping the colors cool will help them pop a little bit more. I don't like... I feel like I want this to get darker down here. Or maybe I'll have the bush get darker. Maybe the bush just needs to be darker, period. What time period will the other ones take place? I think... Yeah, they're all after A Vision of Shadows. All the other ones at the lake are after A Vision of Shadows. No, I don't want to do it gloomy. The camp pictures are meant to have a positive feel to them. They should make you feel happy. I don't want them to feel like sad. So yeah, going... Hey, Rappy. I don't want to change the atmosphere of the piece. I like the atmosphere that I have picked. I'm just refining the colors to help things stand out. I have absolutely no desire to change the atmosphere I have already created. Okay, this is in the back as well still. I think I want this to be kind of yellow up here. Okay, and then... I think what I'm gonna do is sort of a darker-ish. That's too dark. Hold on. Maybe... Well, if I'm gonna do that, then... I honestly think this does need to be darker. Because right now it's the same shade as the top of the quarry. And I think, like, it's much further in the picture. So... I think we can definitely get away with it being a little bit more colored. Classical music today? I think it's just the song. We're playing like some indie music. Songs from indie games. I do want to lighten that up a little bit though. I am all done with my coffee, and it's only been an hour. I mainly picked this exact time frame because Hollyleaf, Ivy Pool, and Doveling are in camp. It's during the Forgotten Warrior. So my main reasons for picking this was because I needed a picture with Hollyleaf in it. and Ivy Pool and Dovewing. Specifically, probably Ivy Pool, because Dovewing is technically in the ShadowClan Lake camp, but she's very tiny. Okay, and then this is sort of... Let's actually go for like a kind of a darkerish color for this stuff up here. To like make it really stand out against the background. Okay. I must have drawn this like beam of light when I was talking about lighting. I like this yellow color though. I'm gonna bring it into the bushes a little bit. Have you drawn all of this in 1 hour? You're funny. That is the comment of the century. Okay, so the lighting is coming from this way, so let's change it. Yeah. I might bring in another color on these trees. See, this is my issue, right? I have to take a step back because right now I'm working on the background trees. Don't add detail. Honestly, this is plenty. Like these background trees, the more detail you add, the more they're going to feel like they're not in the background. They're going to come closer and closer to the camera, right? And so I need to balance it. Sometimes you just have to take a step back and go, what are you working on right now, Jessica? You're working on the background. Don't keep rendering it out like it's the frickin' foreground. Honestly, I think I like it more when it's kind of like that color. Kind of drop a lot of the... Yeah, I can add fog, but fog doesn't cover everything. I really like this right here. I need to incorporate more of this. This right here, this feels good. This like hint of blue in that shadow and then the like orangey shadow that's coming off of it. I need to do more. I need to carry this feeling into the rest of the picture. Right now, I'm like desaturating it further and further and further. It's not feeling as bright, like... So I have to be careful. I mean, I could just go like this. Hold on. I could just go boop. Ah! Who turned on the lights? Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break because this is the other thing. Take a break from your pictures. If you feel like you've been kind of redrawing the same thing over and over, take a break. Step away. Don't look at it for a couple, like, don't look at it for like 30 minutes or something. And, you know, just chill. So we're actually going to switch over. I'm going to line a Werecat animated background. I picked this one because I can stream it. We're going to line that really quick and then we'll come back to this one. So let me switch over. No, this is not close to getting done at all. I haven't even started to like actually like make the colors fit inside the lines, and I haven't put any of the cats into the background. Like I haven't started combining the background and the cats at all. We are not almost done. Okay, I'm gonna do this really quick. Hi, Rusty. And then I'll come back to it. Let me just let it simmer for a little bit. We are working in Clip Studio Paint. EX, I think. Alrighty, I have to pick this up from someone. So I did a little bit of red line on this. So we'll just keep that in mind. This is a just finishing up this layout really quick. I believe it needs to be about probably like about a 7, I think is gonna be good for it. I have to remember. Yeah. This is... Let me grab... my Refi. Okay. Werecat animated backgrounds are a very simple, well, they're not super simple, but they're a lot simpler than the giant camp backgrounds I usually do. This one will take like a brief second. I think I'll start painting backgrounds on stream. Maybe. What's the difference between the Warrior Cat animated background style on your own? Well, when I came onto the team, I was told that the Warrior Cat animated style was... My style was used as like an inspiration for them to develop it. It's a lot more simpler. A lot of details and a lot of things are just simplified so that they're quicker and easier to draw over and over and repeatable. The bushes in particular are like very simple compared to my bushes. They're like mostly just curves with like every once in a while there's a little like tree leaf that or bush leaf that stands out. This is a tangent, by the way. I circled it. Tangents means that there's probably a better way to combine all of the details in that area so that they're not coming to a point. The Warrior Cat animated style, the line work is a lot more streamlined. So like you're gonna take less lines doing stuff. But there are a lot of similarities. It was pretty easy for me to pick up. But there are some discrepancies between the two styles. The way I do ferns is a lot more complicated than how they're done in Warrior Cat animated. All the Warrior Cat animated ferns mostly look like Ghibli ferns with the heart shape. Whereas I tend, especially like really close up to the camera ferns, I tend to actually give them like their fronds and like all the little leaves. Whereas you would never do that in Warrior Cat animated. This is moss. Well, there's no grass in this one, but I promise that if this had grass in it, we'd be sneaking them in. I love those things. Anyway, this layout has a lot of references, like this specific mossy covered rock. Well, I think I created the maquette for this scene, which is like the map of the entire scene, so that people can easily reference. I marked this tangent because this is the edge of the picture, and I wanted to kind of move that down a little bit because it was kind of touching the edge in a weird way. And then when I add the extra bush leaves, I kind of like just erase a bit of the curve. They stick out from the curve, so they don't go like this. It's like there's a curve and then there's a grass blade or a bush blade, right? That's something that I have to point out for people a lot. I'm guessing you can't show a map. I think it was shown on the Warrior Cat animated production screen. Maybe? I don't know. I have no idea if I'm allowed to show the map. I can ask Toon. You want me to ask Toon? Let me text her. I'm doing a Warrior Cat animated layout on stream. Would it be... Can I show the maquette on there? Okay, I'm questioning her. I'm planning to apply, but I'm not sure what the workload looks like. It's as much as you want, as long as you check in. So as long as you're not ghosting the project, you can every single, I don't know. I mean, it's all volunteer, so okay. I think that's it. Now I look at it, if there's any, is there any like egregious tangents? What about with Rusty on there? Rusty's got animation for this one already. Doesn't look like it. Anything touching weirdly, touching weirdly, touching weirdly. First glance, you gotta think that there's like 800 of these. Don't think about it too hard. I think I'm gonna add one more like bonus line, like maybe up here. This will be blurred probably. Like, look how close Rusty is to the camera. He's probably gonna be blurred. Alrighty, and then I will color in the base. This is going to be a single layer. But I want to separate out the... I'm going to add a base color. And I'm going to add a layer for the rock and the plant, I think. Where's the clipped layer below? Thank you. Alrighty, I think that's done. And then somebody will paint it. It could be me, it could be somebody else. But eventually it will get painted, just not today. Clean up the layers. Save. This is used for 2 shots, but I think they're the same exact shot. Okay. We're done. We go back. Photoshop. And then ThunderClan Lake Camp, which is the Thunder Lake is the command. There we go. Let's see what we got here. I honestly just think maybe if I up the green. You guys know what I like doing, right? I like doing gradient maps, but we're not doing gradient maps really quick. Actually, yeah, we can do a gradient map. You guys know I like gradient maps. Where's the gradient maps? Where is the adjustments panel? Thank you. Okay, I want the shadows. To be blue. And I want the lighting to be yellowish. And that mid color to mostly be green. A nice green. Point of view, like at night vision binoculars. Okay, everything's green. But I mostly just want that in the beginning. So then I take the mask and I kind of go like this. But I definitely want this to be pushed into the blue more. You've never found gradient maps that helpful? Dude, when I found out what gradient maps were, it changed my life. No joke. I think the only... Yeah, I like really pushing that blue shadow. But then I also kind of want to erase. I can kind of get that mimic going. And then I think I would like up the blue. When the blue is actually green. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Oh, Squirrelflight's gonna look so good with all that green around her. It's gonna look good. Jayfeather, I'm gonna have to be careful up here because the shadows are getting into being about the same color as him. These cats probably won't change their colors too much because they're gonna be at the front and center of the picture. And this is like pretty much sun high, so I think he still fits very well. And I think that Poppy Frost is also kind of covering up that orange. I could probably push the blues around Fire and Sandstorm as well. They're going to be a little bit more faded, so like Cats in the Midground will probably be... Well, it's hard to tell right now, but... guys ever just like... I like that green on the grass around there. I'm trying to think. I think the further, the quicker that I push the grass into being not as like vivid, the further back the back of the camp is gonna feel, which honestly is probably more of what I'm looking for. Like, I want to emphasize the size of this camp, so I might really start fading out the colors quicker. Like right here-ish. And then back here, I haven't really done much, but I don't think that the grass needs to be that vivid all the way back there. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like this probably is just too dark for like everything else around it. It's almost the same value as this up here, which is kind of throwing me off a little bit, I think. Hazel likes camouflaging. Yeah, she is gonna camouflage, but she's not like a super major character, so I'm not too upset about it. Also, I could just make this entire thing around her head ivy right here, so that at least her head kind of sticks out. I'm not too worried about it. The ones I'm more worried about camouflaging in are these foreground cats. The other ones could just be like, oh yeah, there's a cat there. Oh yeah. I'm not too upset about it. Like Daisy right here, she might start blending in, but it's whatever. I'm liking this. I'm liking the colors on this area over here. This section of the camp right here is looking really nice. I think I might want to push the values a little bit down here. Let's try doing that. And then I do want to lighten up this area a little bit. Down there, it's okay. I think what I'm gonna do here, though, is... When you released the ThunderClan camp, I was trying to see if I could name some cats in it. There's a lot of cats. The ThunderClan one, there's a lot of really tiny cats in it. In my mind, the ThunderClan Gorge is massive. Like, it's probably bigger than... I mean, I'd say that it's bigger than this camp. I've always just imagined it to be massive. I think it's because whenever I visit, like, a gorge when I'm camping or something, it's always a huge one, right? Like, I've never really been... If something is considered a gorge, it's huge. Otherwise, it's a ravine, right? So, I guess that's just... I always imagine it, like, being quite massive because of that. Yeah, I'm liking this area. don't... Let's see. Well, I could do something about that really quick. Hold on. So when I say fog, I mean something like this. Oops. That's what I mean. Here, let's put the beachy cats on top of it. Putting that fog back there will... That's sometimes like really... Now I have to be careful with the fog because printing out pictures with this much like blended in values, sometimes they don't print out very well. I think the SkyClan Gorge looks beautiful when it's 2x3, but honestly, the way that it prints out on the 12x18, I kind of wish it was a little bit better. I feel like there's a lot of values that get missed. But it's also just like pretty detailed. Detailedly painted. How that made it seem larger. Well, also just pushing the line art from being like the same color. But yeah. Pushing that blue, or I could push it into the yellow. I feel like blue makes it feel like pushing that fog back into this blue makes it seem like it's early summer. But if you push it kind of to be a lot more yellow, you could make it like even. You could make it like hot summer. See, makes it seem like it's really hot all of a sudden. You guys like how slow I draw sometimes? It's a beech tree that falls. Not a birch. It's a beech tree. Hey, Don. I mean... Wait, what did I say? I said, do you guys like how long it takes me to draw sometimes? How long? I'm just indecisive. I'm an indecisive person. I feel like. don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with this. I honestly don't think it matters what type of tree it is. I just drew the tree falling. I genuinely don't think it matters what type of tree it is. Because I don't think the authors remember either. Okay, let's start cleaning up. I'm not going to do my cleanup. You guys are going to have to watch me painstakingly do it. Well, I think it just takes me a long time to do these pictures. I feel like when I know I'm going to print out a picture and make people pay money for it, I want it to be perfect. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't... There's like some sort of thing in my mind. Okay. I can already feel my hand struggling. This is bad. Rendering just murders my hand, man. I wish that I could come up with a way to render these pictures without it, like, absolutely hurting to high heaven. But you do what you gotta do. Stretch. I guess I have been drawing nonstop for about 2 hours, but... Stretches for the week. Break time? It could be break time, I guess. Hey, Crafted, just working on art, like always. Drawing. That's my life. You might be wondering how I got here. Coffee, caffeine. I did just finish my... I guess I've had a cup and a half of coffee today. I do need to take a break, probably. I unfortunately don't think I have any other thing lined up to work on that wouldn't be like hard on the wrist, if that makes sense. Pretty much everywhere I'm at in my projects are like rendering details out, or I mean, I guess I could do some color splashing for Little Pistol's color storyboard or color keys for scene 2, but I don't feel like doing that right now because I'm frustrated on one of the color keys not turning out the way I want it to, so. Do I play any strings with the bow? I did not play any string instruments. I played piano, not really. When I was in middle school and high school, I played the French horn. I was a brass player. Enjoy my caffeine. I drink like absolutely way too much caffeine. Although it's all from coffee. I mean, I do drink soda, but I don't drink soda nearly as often. Caffeinated beverages is something that I'll like crave, and then I'll have like a couple sips of it and I'll realize like I'm just burping. And I stop drinking it, and then I let it go flat. I think I want the shadow to be lighter up here, and then this part to be darker. Caffeinated? Oh, yeah, carbonation, sorry. My brain. I feel like when I start rendering, my brain just doesn't even work anymore. It like shuts off. It's like going to bed. And it's a stream of consciousness speaking. I like that. Popping through. Hey, kitten. I just heard the weirdest sound. Was that in the song? It is in the song. Okay. Thought I was going insane. There's gonna be a drop shadow right here from, well, first of all, Leaf Pool and Squirrelflight are in this area, so. But they're gonna be putting drop shadows onto the rock, so don't worry about it too much. Maybe I can actually, like, my main goal at the moment is I want to be able to integrate at least one cat into this, which I'm kind of expecting that I'm going to be integrating Leaf Pool and Squirrelflight into the background right after I finish, like, kind of cleaning up a lot of the details around them. Then I'll feel like if I can integrate at least one set of characters into this today, I'll feel like I did something. Hey Sage, welcome in. Welcome back from school. Hope today was good. I do believe goldfish as a reward. I have a half of a PB&J that I made before stream because I did not eat before stream because I was not hungry, but I knew that I would probably get hungry when I'm streaming. So if I go silent for a couple of seconds, it's because I muted to eat my PB&J. I think this would probably help if it was just a single thing like this. See it crafted. Oh man, I keep on trying to drink my coffee and there's no coffee left. This is a sad moment indeed. Opening the water bottle. Okay. I think I want something like that. And then I want a little bit of drop shadow down below this guy so you can tell that he is peeking through. The other ones are behind it, but this guy is peeking through. So give him a bit of a drop. Clean up this a little bit. This a little bit. Make this a little darker. Okay. Now I'm going to darken up this. Where is Leaf Pool and Sandstorm? Not Sandstorm, Squirrelflight and Leaf Pool. Okay. They are pushing this up. The first thing I need to do is do a quick mask so that I can cover up Leafpool's tail that's being covered up by the fern. I think that's the only part of them where the foreground is coming up to meet them. And then get out the shading. Let's do some blue shade. Now, Squirrelflight's going to be difficult because shading an orange cat with blue always never fails to not piss me off, but whatever. Oh, I messed up here. I might have to modify that, but it's okay. We'll work on it later. Just get the original, the meat of it. I'm just getting the basics down first before I do the colors. honestly feel like this might just be too much shading. And then inverse. M Young, where are you? Why? Because we're drawing squirrel flight? Maybe when M Young returns, they will have aged to the M old. Maybe? Cat Shadow. Wishing M Young the best of Squirrel Fight Cinderella. I still remember M Young appearing on the Warrior Cat animated stream while I was taking requests to draw like Warrior Cat animated characters in style, and they came onto the stream and they asked for Cinderella Squirrel Flight, and I was like, how dare you ask me on a different stream to draw you something. We have a deal. That's only on my stream. They're dedicated enough to follow you? I don't think so, because they like don't really show up in stream anymore. I think they're intimidated. I think we figured out exactly what they are. A child using their dad's YouTube to type weird auto-generated like sentences. And or they're a bot. But I'm almost pretty sure they're just a kid. You'd ban them? You guys know, I like don't ban people. I try to talk it out with people first. Your loathing for M Young is intense. They're like never even here anymore, Agnolia. Your beef is so one-sided. They are pretty insufferable, though. They were pretty insufferable. Okay, so the fact of the matter is that they were so insufferable before I called them out that I actually was confident enough to call them out on stream. You know? Like it was quite a few streams, like maybe for like 2 or 3 months, where they would just come in and they do the number one thing that I like, honestly, it really irks me. They would come in and they would just keep requesting me to draw things. They would ask me, but their requests were so silly and just so out of left field. The reason that we have the Shrimprella emoji is because of M Young. Because they would always come in and they would ask for something like, can you draw a Jock, the kitty pet, cleaning long tail like a shrimp? Or can you draw Squirrelflight in a pretty Cinderella dress? And they would ask various iterations of these same things, like the Cinderella dress, the shrimp cleaning like a shrimp, blah, 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 and other things. And the reason we have Shrimprella is because it's like, that's the meme, right? Eventually, one day, I drew Clear Sky as a shrimp dressed as Cinderella because I was like, you know what, M Young? Yeah, I will draw it. But they do a number one faux pas, whereas you don't come in and you don't go, hey, can I ask you to draw this? Can I ask you to do this? I have this, can you draw it? It's like, no, I can't just, I don't have enough time to do requests. So eventually, before I drew the Shrimprella, I remember it was during a commission stream, and I know not everybody watches commission streams, but on commission stream days, I'm a little bit more strict on what I allow the chat to say to me, because commission streams are a lot longer than the weekday streams like this one. Like, these ones usually go for about like 3.5 to 4 hours, right? My commission streams usually go for like 5 or 6 hours. And so I kind of cater the chat to be a little bit more chill, and I don't let a lot of things slide like I do in these weekday streams. So they came in to a commission stream and they're requesting me to draw things. First of all, extremely rude. I'm drawing commissions that people actually paid for, and you come in and you think that you can just like request somebody to draw you something for free when there are people watching and waiting for me to draw something that they have graciously gave me money for. That's kind of rude, but it's also kind of rude to just come into somebody's stream and like not even try to like build a rapport with them and like request something. So they start doing this again. And I finally, that day, I said, you guys, I'm pretty sure that Im Young is a bot. Because at this point, I didn't know if Im Young was just young and on their parents' channel, and they were like just auto-filling in sentences. But I said, I'm pretty sure they're a bot. And that was when chat finally, that was when I found out that all of chat couldn't stand Im Young. It wasn't just me. This was like a huge epiphany for me, like on streaming. Like, if I'm getting fed up with somebody in chat, probably there's a lot of other people in chat that are also getting fed up with them, right? So I said, Im Young, I think you're a bot. And they're like, I'm not a bot. And I remember I was asking them questions. I was like, okay, well, I was asking them very specific questions that they would have to like formulate an answer for, that like I didn't think a bot would be able to give me a proper answer for, and they never answered a single one of them. So I'm still like pretty much 70-30 on if Im Young is a bot or not. But after that, the tension released, and typically that's what happens. Is like I'll get frustrated with someone in chat, enough so that I actually like make a point to tell them like, hey, you're making me uncomfortable. Hey, I don't like you doing this. Hey, I need you to stop doing this. Because there's no way of people knowing if they're making you uncomfortable if you don't tell them. So it was a turning point for me as a streamer to be like, if I'm uncomfortable, there's probably people in the chat that are also uncomfortable and would like, and it's my chat and it's my responsibility to keep chat. I'm the only one that has to be here for the entire time that I'm streaming, right? So at the end of the day, if you're making me uncomfortable, it's my stream and I should have the ability to kind of make it so that it's not just tiring me out, you know? Streaming is hard. You want to be like a people pleaser, but at the same time, if you let chat just run amok, then no one's going to be having fun, right? I could just let people RP in chat. I could just let people fill the entire chat with, I don't know, negativity and stuff like that. But I try not to, mainly because I try to prevent us from talking about topics that make me sad, that make me not productive, that make me uncomfortable and stuff like that, just because it's not the time and place to talk about it with a bunch of random strangers on the internet. Is brain rot allowed? Skibidi Toilet, Ohio. That's your answer. So that's the reason why we don't talk about drama, we don't talk about politics, we don't talk about anything that's like heated and that can be very like tiring to talk about. Mainly because I want to be as productive as possible when I'm streaming. People come in here to also be productive, and I don't want to talk about like topics that make the majority of people uncomfortable when I'm trying to make art that makes me happy. Hey, Foxer. Yeah, you're basically in my house and I can kick you out whenever I want. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to... I'm trying to make it into a place that promotes being productive for me and for you guys. I'm trying to think. I guess, yeah, a little bit of Sorreltail is going to be in the shade. That's actually going to be really cool, I think. I think it'll just be like her butt. But that'll be really fun. Because the top of her head will not be in the shade, but that should lend itself to some pretty cool visuals. I can just imagine all the mods with suit and sunglasses. I don't ask a lot of my mods. But I will say, I do try to, before I just completely, like, ban somebody from chat, I do try to tell them, if I think that they're coming in and they just genuinely don't understand, like, stream etiquette and stuff like that, I try to tell them, like, hey, this isn't something that you usually do on stream, instead of just outright banning them. Except for on commission stream days, where, like, I just have zero patience. And I'm like, don't come back in chat for another day. I tell you what you did wrong, and then you're banned for a whole day, because I'm like, I can't teach you today. Can there be a little bug in the poster? I don't like bugs, I'm sorry. I'm not a bug person. Can I tell you guys something really evil that I did? And I kind of feel bad about it, but at the same time, if I had the choice to do it again, I probably would. One time I trapped a spider under a cup for 2 weeks, and it slowly died. And it was because I was scared of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel bad, like, kind of about it, but at the same time, I don't feel that bad about it. You have a pet jumping spider? Oh my gosh, I have a really horrible pet jumping spider story. You don't want to hear it. It doesn't. It ends in tragedy. Pretty much every single story about me and spiders ends in tragedy. For the spider. Basically, if I can see the spider, it's too close to me. Spider leg gulping in the background. You went silent. Look. One time I had a standoff with a jumping spider in my car in the Target parking lot, and I literally went in and bought an entire can of Raid to battle this spider because it kept going in my freaking air vents. So every time I opened the door, it would stare at me, and then when I opened it, it would crawl back into my air vents, and I was not about to be driving that car with a freaking giant jumping spider in my car living. So I went in, I was live tweeting the entire thing to my mom. I was texting her, and she's the one that told me to go back into the store and buy a whole can of Raid. And the spider did not survive, and I was able to leave the Target parking lot. But that was about the 30 minutes of my life that standoff happened. It was like a hostage situation. I'm sorry, I'm not kind to insects. I don't like any insects. The only insects I like are those tiny little inchworms. I don't like spiders. Spiders are my #1 nemesis. I literally hate spiders. Like, I can't even... I'm the reason that you have to spoil spiders when you post them on Discord. I hate spiders. I did watch A Bug's Life. Actually, fun fact, Bug's Life was the first movie that I ever saw. Ever. I think maybe it was the first movie I saw in theaters. A Bug's Life release date. Apparently. Yeah, 1998. Apparently this was the first movie that my mom and dad ever took me to. In theaters. So, I have watched A Bug's Life. And I watched it a lot, actually. I still hate bugs. I don't remember it. My mom and dad just told me that. I just happen to know that about Bug's Life. It's the first movie I ever went and watched. Mulan was the first Disney movie I ever saw, also, apparently. You guys don't just ask your parents questions like that? Like, hey, what was my first movie I ever saw in theaters? Just me? My first theater movie was the first SpongeBob movie. That movie slaps, and I'm glad that was your first movie. I had the SpongeBob SquarePants video game, like GameCube game. Holy crap, I played that thing way too much. That was a childhood jam, for sure. My earliest memory of having go to the theaters. Yeah, see, I don't remember the first movie that I watched. Like, I don't know which is, like, the first movie that I remember watching. This is gonna sound horrible, but I feel like the first movie that I... This is so stupid. Like, one of the first movies that I remember watching is, like... freaking the first Iron Man, which obviously is not Iron Man 1. When did it come out? Like, it came out in 2008. Well, when did Tangled come out? I remember, no, that came out in 2010. So, like, I clearly watched movies before the first Iron Man came out, but I think that was one of the first movies that I went to without, like, my parents, maybe. Maybe I just didn't go to a lot of movies as a kid. Like in 2008, I was in 8th grade. So like, I definitely remember other movies. No, So yeah, echoing. I don't know why that one specifically, I just remember watching in theaters. I don't know, life is weird. I feel like so when I was a kid, I just watched movies in theaters once. So I guess I mostly remember just watching movies on VCR and stuff like that more, because that would be the time that I'm just like watching them over and over and over. Like, I definitely saw movies. I think I saw WALL-E in theaters. When did WALL-E come out? In 2008. Okay, for some reason, 2008 is like the first time that I remember watching like a lot of movies. Hold on. Disney movie releases. Hold on. Let me look at the ones that came out in the late 90s. See, Mulan was one of the first movies I watched. Toy Story 2, see, I never saw that in theaters. I don't think so. The Tigger movie, I think I definitely saw in theaters. Because I loved that movie. The Tigger movie, it was a Pooh Bear movie. And then I feel like I saw... I don't know. I saw Monsters, Inc. in theaters. That's an 01. I definitely saw the Tigger movie because I watched the freaking heck out of that movie. Holy crap. I was a huge Pooh Bear kid. Pooh Bear was like my first mega fandom. Absolutely obsessed with it. Everything was Pooh Bear. Until I discovered Pokemon. And then I discovered Hamtaro. And then I discovered Warrior Cats. And then the rest is history. Had a big beef with the series? Interesting. I'm not planning on opening design commissions anytime soon. I might do some adopts. The thing about design commissions is that I need to price them higher, and I hate pricing commissions higher because I hate taking money for commissions. That Disney, like, cartoonified it? Weh. I'm upset because a cartoon company cartoonified something. Weh. I don't know. I don't really care because I have the most nostalgia for the Pooh Bear that looks like this. Or however he looks. I don't remember exactly how he looks. But I have the most nostalgia for the cartoonified version, so I can't relate. Although I did see the official stuffed animals that Winnie the Pooh is based off of in the New York Metropolitan Library. Okay. If I can get these done. I like this kind of bluish color that's seeping through. Oh shoot, you know what I'm doing? I'm cleaning up the background. Okay, okay. Don't do that. I think, yeah, I can clean up this. Don't do anything else. I actually don't think any of this will be visible. So, it will be, but not on the final print. Or maybe I'll just push it up a little bit. kind of goes all the way out, though. This is my issue right here. Is that it definitely feels like it's kind of supposed to be coming out quite a bit further than how I have it. What den? It's the medicine cat den. Medicine cats. I feel like... I want to make this darker. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm cleaning up. Ay. I need to make sure. Well, I could just get rid of these lines to kind of help me. Let me make them lighter so that I can stop doing that. And then up. Does anyone remember Mission Odyssey? I don't remember that. I feel like when I was a kid, though, there weren't that many, like, overseas cartoons. I mean, really the only ones we had were, like, 4Kids stuff. I feel like most of the stuff on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network were, like, American-y. I could be wrong, though. I feel like it's a lot more common nowadays to have, like, companies from overseas, like, have like, TV shows. A lot of live action shows on the kids channel were actually from Australia. I don't think she gets thrown off of the high ledge, right? She gets dragged down the rock pile, I thought. But also cats land right side up, so... The animation maps? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I could do an entire iceberg of things that the Warriors fandom convinced you that really happened, but didn't actually happen. I feel like there's an entire iceberg. available. Like, Princess has no personality. That Silverstream has no personality. Or that she's just a very calm, guiding, wise presence like she is in StarClan. A lot of characters, their personalities, because they kind of get erased when they go to StarClan, people just assume that because they're like wise, calm, and like guiding in StarClan that they were like that in real life. Whereas Silverstream's like a bit of a brat and naive and like has a very interesting personality. Princess is like, honestly, she's pretty smart. She's the one, I know that in the graphic novel she's not the one because they did erase all of her personality in the graphic novel. But in the actual book, she's the one that thinks that the trap that Tiger Claw sets for Blue Star in the middle of Fire and Ice, that Cinderpaw gets caught in when she like has her accident. Princess is the one that thinks it's a trap. Fireheart doesn't think that. Like Holly being on the Great Oak when she spills the beans. She is at the bottom of it, I think. I think I just reread the... She doesn't climb to the top. But thematically and cinematically, that is a lot more powerful than what happens. Definitely having blue eyes. That is because the books but the books for the longest time flip-flopped on those. That is something that the books actually came up with. That is the book's fault. I have contributed to my fair share of Werecat's misinformation via map parts. For example, in Everything Moves, it's implied that because Soul is responsible for the foxes arriving in camp, he is outcasted. But it's not until he actually steals or quote-unquote kidnaps Leaf Star's kits and hides them away from her that he is finally exiled. It was just that's just too hard to portray visually in the time allotted, that I just shrunk it to be like, oh my gosh, look, he brought the foxes into camp. Although now that I think about it, it might have actually been, like I said, it was just too hard. Soul's front paws. I don't know. Probably just too annoying to draw over and over. I don't like my Soul design. That's my biggest regret, is I don't like my Soul design. But I will not change it because I have an entire map dedicated to them, and I do not change designs if they are like huge players in the map. So I will never change my Cinderpelt, I'll never change my Greywing and Clear Sky, I'll never change my Soul. I probably will never change any of the leaders ever again that are in StarClan's Chosen. The only one that I would change is like Ragged Star. But I think I did change him a little bit, so... You forgot about the kidnapping? Yeah. It's pretty egregious. What don't I like about it? It's just not how I imagine him in the books. That's usually what happens, is that I think I've seen... Well, this is my issue, right? I don't know if there's just one singular soul design out there that I enjoy, but I don't think that my soul design is very... It's very, like, 2013 style, I suppose. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's fine. I mean, I've drawn it multiple times before. And he's not, like, a major enough character after he leaves that I would, like... I don't know. I don't think that there's one specific thing that I don't like about the design. I think it's just an entire vibe. I'm like, eh. The vibes could be better. Yeah, iconic is, I guess, the word you would call it. Not in, like... For me, he's iconic, but not in a overly positive way. But he's just, like... People know that design, and they know he's Soul. Which is honestly the only thing that you... It's the thing you could... The only thing you hope for, I feel like. As a character designer, that's the only thing I hope for. When people see the character, they immediately are like, oh yeah, that looks like Soul. And I'm like, well, it is Soul, so that's good that it looks like him. And, I mean, he's doing the job. People know who he is. So I guess that's really all that you can ask for. I feel like if I was gonna change him, he would probably... I would probably incorporate more... I don't know what I would incorporate on him, honestly. He's kind of in the same realm of Lion Blaze for me, where if I had a clear idea, I would change him, but I don't, so... He will stay the same. Nothing has changed. He is the same. What did I have here? I guess I'll make this like a lighter color. Hey, box. Werecat animated open applications yesterday. They did. I worked on Werecat's animated layout today. If you guys apply, fun fact, if you guys apply to be a background artiste, you will be taking feedback and critique from me and Pommy. That is our department. You applied to be a background artist? Well, I am just the assistant background director, so... I do not have the entirety of the final say. You think your style test is a little iffy? I think that the main thing that we look for in the style test, well, obviously it will be nice if you can replicate it perfectly, but we're not really expecting somebody to be able to replicate it absolutely perfectly with no feedback or as their initial look through. I think that we're mainly like looking for basic shape, like nailing the basic shape, and like composition is also really nice. So like show us that you have a nice eye for composition, or sometimes even trying a little bit of like a crazy background thing. Like show us a gnarly looking tree or like something like so that we can tell that you're willing to take a little bit of chances, or I don't know. I feel like we're mostly just looking to see if somebody can like get a feel for the style before they get any feedback, honestly. A character designer? Character designers also do the style character sheets. So they are the same. You're also applying for the style team. And I don't have any say on who gets to be part of the style team. I'm only in charge of the background team. Hey, Nightmare. Okay. What did the concept artist draw? Concept work? Viz dev. That's viz dev stuff. So you're figuring out how you're exploring ideas, you're exploring concepts, you're fleshing out prompts, you're designing props, you're doing viz dev. I don't want to get too specific. Which team does color keys? I think the concept team does color keys. Have any of the color keys been publicized? I don't think so. I believe that color keys are usually somebody in the concept department with the help of the composite director. Maybe? I can't say much more. Sorry. I think I want this to be white. I think I just want to push out the white right here. So clean. I don't know. Can I say this? Ah, shoot. Hold on. Let me look at the Warrior Cats. Let me look at the Warrior wiki or the Warrior animated card. Hold on. It sucks because I have answers to your guys' questions, but I just don't know how much I can disclose. Hold on. Let me see what the teams and departments say. So in the official animation document, the color scripters are their own team. A lot of people that are color scripters are also concept artists and on the background team. So a lot of the people in the color scripter role are part of both departments. Not all these people are active anymore, though. Hey, okay, I'm like, where'd my cleanup go? I pressed the delete button accidentally. In my experience, I am a color scripter. So in my experience, once you're in the project, you apply to be a color scripter. Or in my experience, I was working on the concept team when I was doing the color scripting. I guess I can say that. It was a concept assignment. Hey, Waiko. Let's not do RP, Kiara. We are not RPing in chat. I think I can answer some questions about Warrior Cats Animated. I know the major questions that I'm not allowed to answer. And I don't know how much I'm allowed to answer on like what I've done for the project, other than like what teams I'm in and what my role is in those teams. And I can't answer any of like the release date questions and all that crap. The medium softy, is that what I'm using right now? Yeah, that's what I'm using right now, Box. This is a very similar brush to what we use. It's not the brush that we use in Warrior Cats Animated. The brush we use in Warrior Cats Animated is... where is it? It's this one. This is how we render. If you're using Photoshop. Or you use this one. You can apply for concept art. The worst that can happen is you get denied. That's literally the worst that can happen if you apply. And if you don't apply, you're going to get denied. So, look, this is how you got to think about it. The worst that can happen when you apply is the best that can happen when you don't apply. So you might as well apply. Yeah, this is a very similar brush to what we use. So the background team, we prefer people to work in Clip Studio Paint. However, everyone in our team either works in Photoshop, Clip Studio, or Procreate. And if you're working in Clip Studio, you should use the dense watercolor brush, period, to paint. But if you're using Photoshop, I mean, we have a brush set that you will download. I think the main thing that we're looking for when you apply in a painting test is just being able... see, I don't think the last time that we opened applications, we had painting tests going. You will get feedback and draw-overs for the painting test. Not painting tests. You'll get feedback and draw-overs for every single thing that you submit in the background team. So you will get better as you go. The goal, for me as a director, is the goal that I give you extensive tutorials, feedback, make sure that you know everything, so that eventually you need less and less, and you can just go and you've mastered the style. We're not expecting you to have like a complete mastery of the style when you first join, I promise. You will have feedback and stuff. Oh, thanks, CR. Yep, I'm still around. Still drawing cats. Don't forget, you're here forever. And when you get assignments in the layout team, if you feel like you want to do, we will ask you. So when I assign things, I ask. I'm like, do you want to do painting or do you want to do a layout? Do you want to have one of each so you can kind of go back and forth? So if you want to join and mostly just like do layouts or mostly do painting, then you can do one or the other, you know? It would be great if everyone in the background team was at the same level for both like line art, like layout work and painting, but some people just don't have as much time. Like, in my opinion, painting the backgrounds takes a lot longer than just doing the layout for them. And when you're doing layouts for backgrounds, the main thing that you're doing is kind of visualizing the shot in 3D and making sure that it's the correct size for like pans or parallaxes, or that it's like you're laying it out, right? Whereas when you're painting, the layout's already been done. You're just making it look prettier. So all the hard thinking about laying it out happens in the line art stage. You've basically been the one establishing the BG style. Yeah, I completely understand. I completely understand. I think I picked up on the Warrior Cat animated style a little bit easier than some people because I was told when I joined. I did not join Warrior Cats animated until I think 2023 is when I joined. And I was told that when they were developing the background style, my art was on the inspiration board of like what they were going for. So I think I just had a little bit easier of a time drawing in it because I could kind of think the same way. So I think I just picked up on it a little bit easier than some people who might have styles that are a lot different than the one that we draw in. But we have like a Bible, we have a style Bible, we have references. They're not public, you know. But when you get on the team, you'll have access to all of those things for like easy referencing and all, like, yeah. You know. I try to be as helpful as I can as like a director to make sure that if you're struggling, that I'm like not just trying to draw over your work and being like just redraw what I'm drawing. I want to teach you so that you can create your own stuff. Yeah, I might see if I might try painting a layout on Thursday here, or at least doing like a very bare bones like color splash of it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to ask Toon, who's the head director, like what I can show on stream and how not. When you join the team, how much of the story will you know? You know everything. So part of the thing about Warrior Cats Animated is that everything is public. You will have access to all the channels. I stalk the animation channel all the time. You can see how everything is moving. You will be able to see it all. You will have as much of the picture as you want to see. None of it is behind closed doors. As a director, the only thing I have access to is, like, sometimes we have director meetings. Where we just, like, talk about how how our team is going and, like, our goals. My day's going pretty good. I actually managed to stay on track today, even though I didn't think I would be able to. I promise that Warrior Cats Animated was a lot more intimidating to apply for than I thought it would be going in. Out from the outside in, and it's a very professionally run production, but from the outside in, it feels very intimidating. But it's a very welcoming environment to, like, get confidence and, like, dip your toes into how a real production feels and, like, get feedback and actually, like, improve and all that stuff. Like, it's genuinely changed. Like, it's just been a nice experience to have, I suppose. I've been on productions? Yeah. I had not been on a production before, so I was very nervous. How busy are people working on it? There are a lot of people that are in college. There's a lot of people that sometimes, like even in the background team, there's a couple of people that I know, they usually don't pick up assignments unless it's like the summer. And then they'll do a couple in the summer, or sometimes like there's people that just start jobs, and I mean there's various levels of busyness. Like, it would be nice for everyone to be able to, like, pump out a couple layouts a week, but in reality, it's a volunteer project. You're not getting paid for it. So, I mean, you can only... It's completely understandable that some people just are not able to contribute as much as other members. What do I use to draw with? I just use a tablet that doesn't have a screen. It's just like an Intuos. It's just next to my keyboard. Hey, Tiger Heart. Do I want that to be in the dark? I mean, I guess I don't mind it being in the dark. I guess it doesn't really matter. I feel like all of it should be in the dark, though, if I'm gonna... I kind of want this to be in the light, though. If I did that and then... Because all of this is gonna have... Yeah. Hmm. I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. I think I want the edge to be like a lighter. Honestly. I mean, there's gonna be shadow... from the cats. They're gonna be sitting on the grass, so I think before that I can just, you know, make it kind of a general color. I like doing all these shades with the grass. It makes it feel plumper and soft. When I was a kid and I was like role-playing warrior cats, I would always make the quote-unquote moss bed with moss, and I'd be like, this sucks. It's not comfy at all. In the books, it's always like described as being like the comfiest thing ever, this moss bed. And I feel like when I draw these camps, I'm like, I need it to look like the comfiest moss, the comfiest grass, the comfiest. So inviting. At least I didn't drop that many frames this stream. I was dropping like a banshee last week. What time is it? 5:30? Oh, I might do a quiz and in stream soon. Unfortunately, rendering hurts my hand. But I've been new. These render streams will probably be less long. Sometimes I feel like I mean, I probably should render some of this off stream. Just to be able to break it up a little bit instead of just waiting to do on stream. I hate working on it off stream because I like having like an entire archive of, hey, look what I worked on. But I mean, with the rendering like this, you kind of get what I'm going for, right? Like once you've seen 3 hours of it, you know that it's just going to be another 10 hours doing the same exact crap over and over. Torty. Oh god, I hate doing the pelt stream, the pelt quizzes. They're not fun at all. A speed paint. I don't really mind not having a catalog of the recording. I guess I just like feel I don't want to like open this up on Thursday and then like the whole thing has been rendered and you guys are like, wow, that's crazy. But at the same time, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, I spent this long rendering the foreground, so I might as well just render the rest of it off stream, right? The rest of the foreground is like rendering out this grass, making this fern, and then like I could incorporate the cats on stream. See him up. I don't know. I think I'm done for today. I'm getting tired. I think we did a lot today. Honestly. For the background test, you can just do lines and value. Although we would like to see what your painting skill is. But you don't have to do like the painting in style, I guess, if you don't want to. I honestly have no idea because I haven't seen any of the applications. I won't see them until they close. So I have no idea what other people are doing. But I'm pretty sure in the document of like, please provide a test, there is painted backgrounds. So maybe, I mean, we would love for people on the team to be able to paint and do layouts. We would love for everyone to be able to feel confident doing both, you know? So I would say, but you should probably provide one that's not painted, like so we can just see your line art, and then one with the painted, so we can see both. Let's do... Let's do all ThunderClan cats alphabetical order. Wait, are the applications not open? How long are applications open for? I genuinely don't know. Is it only 2 days? Okay, I thought it was a month. I was like, is it really only 2 days? Thought it said January 8th. I was like, that seems kind of crazy. This is an easy one. Not really, but you guys know, you guys get the thing. Leopard foot. Tiger heart. Tiger heart is on here, and Tiger star. I think both the tigers are on here, right? Yeah. They're gonna get so many applications. We always do. We got a lot. We got a lot the last time too. Apple blossom. Spot fur. Let's see. Who's the one in between Alder branch? Would sunrise count? She does. Sunrise, hawk, tempest, and snow, I think, all count. Brook, blue star, blossom, fall, briarlight, bumble stripe, bay shine, ashfur, barley counts. Yeah, ashfur counts. Ravenpaw counts. Purdy, Cody counts. I don't think there's any other hawk except for the regular hawk. Snow fur is a good one. Snow bush, snow kit, firestar, yeah. Thistleclaw. I think there's a thistletail as well. Soul, swift paw, and swift breeze. Can't forget soul again, yeah. Spark pelt, sorrel tail, sorrel stripe. White star, misty foot, stone kit. Soul does count, yeah. Bracken fur, bramble. Speckletail, frost dawn. Frost fur, sorry. Poppy dawn. Okay, I saw poppy dawn and then I saw poppy frost. Stormtail, storm fur, storm cloud. Weed whisker, stone fur. I think it's stone kit, but stone pelt. Stripe bark, yeah. Dawn feather, dawn paw. I think that's the only 2 dawns, maybe. Brook, we got brindle face. Bright heart. Hunt heart is, no, he's Wind Clan. Rough pelt. Let's see. Song kit, curl kit, russet kit, pale paw, fawn. I'm naming off Storm Clan cats. Lion, Lilyheart. Lilyheart with seed paw and all the seed pelts as well. Bird flight, and I think songbird, right? Clover, I think that's the only clover, right? Lynx kit, longtail, lily. We got grass pelt, no, grass foot. You're thinking of grass foot. Shrew paw, mole paw, cinder heart, cinder pelt. Cherry fall, cherry paw, elder kit, and tulip kit. Fern cloud, fern. There's lots of ferns. Fern whisper, stripe, dark stripe. I love dark stripe. He's so fail. Daisy toad, daisy heart. There's dandelion kit and juniper kit. Chestnut kit. And cricket kit, feather kit, feather paw, feather whisker, feather wing, goose feather. Going down, going down. Puff kit, leap kit, shy kit, sun kit, hazel kit, Oak Kit and Morning Kit. Oh yeah, Morning Kit's not on this quiz. Can somebody tell Spiderwing to add Morning Kit to this quiz? Moonflower, Moonpaw. Mouse Fur, Mouse Whisker. Milkweed, Gooseberry, U-Tail, Yarrow Flight, Yellow Fang. We need Broken Tail. Spotted Leaf, Spotted Pelt. Pink Eyes, Thunderstar, Violet Dawn, and their kits. Feather Ear, Lightning Stripe, Shell Fur, or Shell Claw, and Sleek Fur. Gorse Claw, Fallow, Gorse Claw, Fallow Song, Fallow Paw as well, and Pear Nose. Thunder we got. Going down. We need Vine Tail and Vine Star. We need Twig Branch. We need Violet Kit. And then Zelda and Loki, Minty, Velvet, Fuzzball. Bee-Tail, Beach Fur, and Beach Tail. Yeah, we needed all of them. Patch Pelt, Patch Kit, Larch Kit, Petal Kit. Lion Blaze, Lion Star, Lion Heart. Going up. White Wing, White Storm, Sandstorm, Red Tail. Jessie? I think Jessie does count. And Jay Feather. We need Jay Feather still, I think. I think we're missing another June. I don't know. Waffle Pelt. Oh yeah, Maple Shade. For some reason, Maple Shade, it never registers to me that she is ThunderClan, even though she literally is. That's her whole entire point. Thrush Pelt, Thrush Talon, Mumblefoot, Myrtle Bloom, Kestrel Wing, Lark Song, Berry Nose. Okay, we're going up. So, is there another berry? No. Cloudtail. Oh, we're missing the birches. Okay, you got us. Birch. Birch Face. Flower Paw. Cricket Kit I think we got, maybe. Yeah, we did. Cloudtail. Did we get Cloudtail? Did I type him in and I didn't? We need Cloudberry, though. And Skunk Paw. Bristleclaw and Bristlefrost. Thrift Ear, Finleap, Flipclaw, Bayshine we got. Is there a different bird that we're missing? Are we missing another bird? Bird Flight. I feel like we're missing another bird, but I don't know who it is. Stag Leap? Yeah. And Hair Pounce. There's also Heron Wing. Running Wind. Fennel Dust. Good call. We need Dust Pelt. We need Dove Wing. We need Eagle Storm, Wind Flight, Squirrel Whisker. I think there's another eagle we're missing. Eagle Wing with Plumstone. Bloomheart. Ravenpaw, I believe we got. Did I already get Bloomheart? No, I did not. Okay, awesome. Freckle Pelt, Freckle Wish. Fog Drift is a good one. Sunstar, Pine Star. I don't think we have a lot of... we also need Rowan Star and Tawny Pelt. Do we have Dawn Paw, Flame Paw, Nightheart, Flame Nose, Flash Nose? Tiger Star we have. Cloud Spots we need. Broken Star. We need Shivering Rose, Hazel Burrow, Morning Fire, Morning Star as well. Blue Whisker. Thank you. I always forget about Blue Whisker because I don't like that book. Rose Tail, Rose Petal. Why are all the roses in ThunderClan? I don't know. There's also Rook Tail, Rockfall, Robin. There's a Robin Wing. Daisy we got. Acorn Furs and Sky Clan. Moss Kit we need. Yes. Doe Star, Deer Paw, Deer Dapple. We're missing Golden Flower and Golden Star. Or Golden Paw, sorry. Fuzzy Pelt, Shine Paw, Shine Cloud. Are we missing another dark? Daisy Toad. Oh no, we're just missing Dappletail. Okay. Is there another mint we're missing? Mist Kit and Night Kit. That's Leopardfoot's kits. Sunbeam we're missing. Yep. Sunbeam. Honey Fur. Honey Fern. See ya, Luke. Leaf. We're missing Leaf Pool. Leaf Shade. Leaf Storm. Moth Whisker as well. What's the watercolor rendering brush again? I just use the medium softy. I don't have any specific brush for it, I don't think. Leopard Foot. Holly Pelt. Finch Light. Dew Nose. Yeah, I think that's the only dew, right? Yeah. Are we almost done with this one? Okay. Is there another Finch? Yeah, there's a Finch star. And then, who's the FLA? Who is the one we're missing after that? Hey, Fred. Flicker Kit. Thank you. We need Frost Fur. We need Fox Leap. Is there another flower we're missing? Float. Fog. There's not another fog. Fly Whisker and Snaptooth. I always forget Snaptooth, Fly Whisker. Okay, Grassfoot. We need Gray Stripe, Gray Whisker. We need Grass or Green Eyes. We need Half Tail. We need One Eye. We got Patch Pelt. We need Small Ear. And we need Snail Shell. We got Apple Blossom, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. Pink Eyes, we got. We need Holly Leaf. We need the Hollies. Holly Leaf, Holly Kit, Large Kit we got. Holly Tuff. Oat Speckle. Oh, yeah. And Raven Wing. Ice Cloud and Ivy Pool. We're missing Hazel Tail. We're missing another Hazel Frond. I think that's a Storm Plan's Folly. Lightning Tail. We're missing Lightning Tail. Oat Speckle and Raven Wing we got. We're missing an L. I think Lizard Tail. Snaptooth and Fly Whisker could be one character. Yeah. We got all the C's. We're missing an L. Are we missing another lion? No, we're missing Little Step. Did we get B Tail? We did. We're done with A through L, I think. Well, there might be one after. No, I think A through L, because I think that's Mallow Fur. Yeah. Is one of the mint Millie? We're missing Millie. I always forget about Millie. I'm not even gonna lie. Millie just is never on my radar. Mist Pelt. Is there another mist? We're obviously missing another mist, but I don't know who it is. Mistle Kit. Moss Heart's a good one. I always forget about her. We're missing Mole Whisker. We got Mole Paw, but not Mole Whisker. Nettle Sting, Nettle Breeze, and Nettle Splash? What's the other Nettle we're missing? Nettle Claw? Okay. Marshpaw, he is ThunderClan. We're missing an oak or an oat? Oak Star. We got Mistyfoot. Are we missing another oat? I don't think so. I think, yeah, we are. Oat Whisker from Code of the Clans. And then we're missing all the owls. So Owl Flight, Owl Star, Owl Paw. Rainfur. Yes, we're missing Rainfur and Rain Whisker. Did we get Sootfur? Yeah. Are we missing more pines? Yeah, Pine Claw. And then are we missing another Pebble? Is there a pebble we're missing? We got Pink Eyes. Are we missing another pine? I don't know. Pear Nose. Pigeon. We're missing Pigeon Paw, Wasp Paw, and Quail Paw from Stormplan's Folly. And then we're missing Prickle Face from Code of the Clans. We're missing Pale Paw. We got. Are we missing some rabbits? Rabbit Fur, Rabbit Leap, Quick Water. We're missing a Raven. What's above Raven? Red. Is there another red? Because I don't think we're missing a Raven. I think we're missing another red, but I don't know who it is. Red Star, thank you. We got Spot Fur, Speckled Tail, Spider Leg. We were just talking about Spider Leg and how I hate spiders. We're missing Squirrel Star still. We're missing the Stem Leaf, Stem Tail, Stem Leaf. Sweet Paw and Sweet Briar is a good one. Are you missing another stone? We have Stone Pelt, Stone Kit, Stone Fur. No. Squirrel Whisker we got. I don't know who that one is. And then we're missing Tawny Spots. We're missing another Tawny. And we're missing a Thorn Claw. Stone Flower. Oh, yes. Okay. We're missing Toad Step. We're missing Tiny Claw. Now that I have Storm Cleanse falling on the brain, I know we're missing Tiny Claw. Is there a Twigtail? Or a turtle? What is this tulip kit between tulip kit and twig branch? And I think we're missing another... Are we missing another white? Tumbletail. Oh my god, the Stormclans Folly Cats. I'm like, oh, I have Stormclans Folly on the brain. And then I don't remember the Stormclans Folly Cat. It's like crazy. What is the wind? Are we missing another wind? I don't think so. I think the only wind in ThunderClan is Windflight. White Star. We got White Star. We got White Star, White Storm, White Wing. Willow Pell. Yeah. You're right. You're right, it was Willow Pell. Here's the one everyone forgets. Skunk Paw and Quickwater, yeah. I used to forget Quickwater all the time, but now I remember her. I don't really consider, like, refugees for, like, a day to be a member of ThunderClan. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, you guys. I think I'm gonna call it done for today. I think I'm gonna be back on Thursday. I'm tired. This is Celeste. This is Celeste music. I'm gonna be continuing to render this on Thursday. We're gonna put, I want to put these five into the picture, and then probably, I definitely want to get all of the foreground rendered by the end of the week. I would like to start rendering out the midground, so, but we'll get all of these characters integrated and the background rendered out. I think by the end of Thursday I'm going to try to shoot for. Because these ones are going to take, well, these characters are going to take the longest to, like, integrate in. Put the cat shadow in there. And then it'll be smooth sailing once we get to the rest of the picture, so. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back again on Thursday. And until then, I will catch you guys later. Bye!